The arts, such as dance, theater, music, and physical art classes, are being torn from schools all over. Many educators don't think it should be a class that just distracts from other classes. By adding the fine arts as a core class, the students are able to develop skills for later years. Art has been with us since everyone can remember. The art movement started in the 1830s with Horace Mann, who led the public school movement, which allowed kids to have free education. With the arts, children are able to connect in physical ways, emotional ways, and even rational ways. The arts help children develop motor functions, thinking skills, and hand eye coordination. There are many different forms of art, like dance, music, writing, theater, and even fashion.
It's easy to forget that drawing, music, and dancing are ancient forms of expression. They were present in our earliest communities, even when, as a species, we had almost no margin for error. So, what happens to our brains on art? Why do we engage in it at all? New studies reveal that the arts may prime our neural circuitry for a much broader range of activities, boosting crucial cognitive and social functions like focus, spoken and written language, self-control, and empathy. In 2016, for example, researchers exposed babies to simple melodies and found that it made them more sensitive to the underlying rhythms of spoken language. Brain scans revealed powerful responses in the auditory cortex of the infants, of course, but also recorded greater activation in the prefrontal cortex, the seat of executive functions like attention and self-control. Linking music to a set of cognitive skills that are amongst the most reliable predictors of success in school and in life. A 2019 study found similar results in adult musicians, but those weren't the only surprises in store for researchers. A high-quality 2019 study tracked over 10,000 students as they danced, performed in plays, or took part in music and visual arts programs. In addition to performing better on writing tests, researchers concluded they were better behaved, had greater compassion for others, and were more engaged in school.
But what if schools didn't have any art classes? What happens to the future musicians, the future actors, the artists, the architects? Children of young ages will be deprived of many useful skills needed later in life. These skills, like active listening, communication, and decision making, will be absent from the next generation if we keep allowing the administration to take away the fine arts.
Probably in other places in the world, but we feel it a lot here in the States. The funding for arts education is always under stress. And the school boards are wondering, do we cut the art? Do we keep the science? And there's tension. We know this. And I brought that up with David Byrne, and he had strong views on that as well. Let's check it out.
In order to really succeed in whatever, math and the sciences and engineering like that, you have to be able to think outside of the box, and you have to be creative problem solving. And the way those disciplines are taught is not totally creative. The creative thinking...
Not at all.
Not at all. It's more like, this is this, this is this, this is this. The creative thinking is in the arts. A certain amount of arts education doesn't mean that your ambition is to grow up to be a painter, but you can use that kind of thinking and apply it to anything else, business, engineering, science.
And be better at it.
And you're better at that. You succeed more and you bring more to the world because you have these abilities that came from outside of your discipline. So bringing different worlds together has definite tangible benefits, and to kind of cut one or separate them is to injure them and cripple them.
Art education gives children critical thinking skills and disciplinary skills and helps them interpret new problems. Students who take part in the fine arts are more prepared for higher education, such as college and more, and they also have the best tools to succeed. My final thought is that I believe art education should be more involved in schools by using visual learning techniques in other classes, using colors and repetition like songs or sayings. The arts allow the future generations to experience new creative ways to analyze situations, develop social skills, and take in new languages through instruments, music, and even culture.